Have you ever done anything really tragic with your eyebrows? As being a
Oh,
90s
that's a
person,
good, that's a
like
good one.
growing up in the 90s,
I probably did. Like, I probably overplucked mine once I started learning to pluck them.
like thanks Gwen Stefani and Drew Barrymore for
Yeah.
screwing us over.
But for the most part, I think the tragedy for mine was that even when I was an esthetician and I did other people's brows and lashes,
Oh,
I'm wild. Like, I don't know. Like, I just don't care.
I like how your eyebrows look. They frame
I
your
feel
face
like,
super well.
yeah, like I feel like I definitely don't like I don't clean them up underneath, but I color like I fill them in, and to me, I'm like, I don't know. You just see the filled in part. Pay no attention to the hairs that are stray. Just look away.
Well, I
It's
think
none your business.
I was either like 12 or 13, probably 12, 10.
Did
I
you
don't know.
pluck them all off?
Oh, I fucking took a razor to my unibrow.
You did. How did that turn out?
The hairs here, like,
Yeah,
still stick straight up. Like, people,
because of like.
well, I shaved it down the middle, and of course, the razor was like wide, so it was like really wide.
So you just have these like side brows.
Yeah. So fortunately,
Oh no.
fortunately, they have mostly they grew back. But yeah,
Oh,
I've
that's
like I've
awful.
gotten, since doing more like video chatting and looking at
Hmm.
my face while I'm talking, or like Zoom calls.
That makes so much sense why you have such a like
Uh,
anytime we're on FaceTime or you're Marco Poloing, you're
I'm like
always
always
like
fixing my
fixing the
eyebrows.
brows.
Yeah, because
PTSD.
I feel so insecure about. I'm like, well, I feel like I have days where I'm like my eyebrows are doing a good thing, and then I have
Yeah.
other days where I just feel very like,
They're not doing
damn,
a
if I
good
could go
thing.
back to my sixth grade self.
Mm-hmm. Be like,
Yeah, because
don't
I
do
think somebody must have like made fun of, like, when I was 10 or something. I remember fifth grade.
that. Yeah.
Somebody made fun of
Of your
my
unibrow.
unibrow, and it wasn't even like,
Kids be mean.
it wasn't even like an Anthony Davis kind of, the basketball player. He has like a notorious like
Like Frida
uni.
Kahlo. Like,
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Frida Kahlo too. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's exactly the same kind of vibe,
Uh-huh.
but it wasn't quite like that. It just kind of, there was hair growing in the middle,
Yeah.
and now since I've like plucked it out for so many years, most of the time it doesn't really grow back. But I've noticed so much that like one of my eyebrows grows closer in.
Mm-hmm.
And so it wasn't until like more recently, since doing video chats and like
Yeah.
Zoom calls and stuff, I'm like,
Now I feel like I'm just looking at you in your brows instead of your eyes.
I know. But anyway, thanks 90s.
Have you
for
tried Grande Brow or Grande Lash?
That's what I've been using.
So
That's what
you
I put on
do
there.
you put it on your brows? You can use the same formula. Put it right here.
It's like,
What? Oh, you're imagining putting mascara on your eyebrows?
no. Or like, you're like, do you put it on your brows? I'm like, I put it on my like fingers to try to grow.
Oh. You can though. It's like
It's like a new trend coming out of France where
yeah,
people grow
knuckle
finger
hair. It's
Yeah.
the new rage.
Yeah,
Oh my
exactly.
God, I'm
All the
fucked
ladies.
then. I have like barely any body hair.
It's, oh, you're so lucky though. I'm so envious. Except
Yeah, but unfortunately,
when
when
the
you
Ice Age
don't have a
comes
lot
up.
of body hair, it also translates to like your head and other places you'd like hair. Like,
Oh yeah.
I wish I had like long, luscious locks and just had to shave my legs more often. But instead, it's like I never have to shave my legs, and I have like 17 hairs on my head.
It's like best of both worlds would be, yeah, hair all the places you want it, but then not in
Yeah.
the place. Like, I look at like Emily Ratajkowski or something, and I'm like, she looks like she has hair only in the places that
Only in places that matter.
are meant to,
Yeah.
like where we want the hair to be. I'm
So
like,
silly.
talk about eyebrows. She's got some good eyebrows.
I'm so weird about hair. Like even when like laser home laser came out, like in the last, I don't know, now it's probably been a decade, probably over the pandemic is when all that stuff got really popular. But I considered it for a second, like lasering certain areas of my body, and then I have this weird like pioneer primal woman thing that happens where I'm like, what if I need that hair one day?
It's funny because I was like, when the ice age comes,
Yeah,
at
right?
some point, if it
I don't
happens
want to
in our
not be able to
lifetime-
grow hair. It's
Yeah.
there for a reason at some point. Maybe
Yeah.
right now, evolution has made it to where I don't need it, but we don't know what's going to happen.
No dress code, no rules, just BYOU. It's time to tell society that it's a taboo. You can be the youest you. here in the naked room.
I will say though, like I'm taking you as my apocalypse partner because the amount of things that you know how to do, like I will warm you with my body hair.
With just your brow hair. Just snuggle right up in that little unibrow.
I'm like, I need my dog to live forever because she would be a great blanket too.
Not only a blanket, but the way she sheds, we could create villages. Like we could create huts of Zula hair.
Screw the birds and their nests. We need
if we can figure out how to use lug nut slobber as like an adhesive. Or like if it like helped plants grow, maybe it has like nitrogen in it or something.
Are we going down idiocracy?
Yeah, maybe.
Like, put some Gatorade on.
Yeah, seriously. Plants crave the slobber.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, there is water in that. But.
Seriously. All right, so we're still doing this. We're podcasting. The 5th time that we have sat down.
I guess actually the 6th because we did it without one microphone the first time. I'm not going to use that.
Yeah, we did 2 girls, 1 mic, and it was not exciting.
It was like a vocal booth mic, and and hot sound guy. My husband was like,
nope.
You need these Shure mics, and you need to be able to like sit across from each other and like, set up your own thing.
Yeah, though it's funny all the things that we have like we've ironed out since the beginning. So we started with 1 mic. We were like, all right, that doesn't work. We started with sitting like right next to each other, like at a desk essentially. So if you were coming in the room, it's like we were sitting there getting ready to interview you behind a desk. And we realized like all those little things that cause
what are your hopes and dreams?
Yeah, like, but it's like it really does. You think like, oh, we're just kind of, you know, like people are only hearing this. So, you know, they're hearing the conversation. It doesn't matter how we look or how we are placed. But it really does. Like, I felt weird sitting next to you. I wanted to sit across from you and have a conversation. I wanted to be able to look at them brows.
I have a strange body odor. No.
Yeah, right? I didn't want to
She's
sit
like, I need to be a little
you.
farther away from you.
But we ironed out so much. Like, we ironed out, like, okay, we don't want to create a list of episodes that we want to do and then feel pressured to do those episodes when we sit down. Like, we want this to feel organic. And we realized, too, that if we were an audience who didn't know who we were, because you probably don't unless you're friends and family. And in that case, thank you for supporting us.
Thank you for our 1 fan.
For the few fans out there. We can count you on all of my head hairs. But I think that we ironed out the fact that it felt really good. Like the episodes that felt best to us were when we just kind of riffed or we organically asked each other questions, even though we know a lot about each other already. There's like still so much to uncover of our outlooks on things or just like kind of even like throwing it back and reminiscing about stuff, like just felt so good. And I was like, I think that people listening to this would want to know a little backstory about us before we start giving what like Timu level education we have on women's health, like, because we're not, we aren't doctors. The only education we have in that realm is just like of what we've experienced ourselves and what our friends have experienced.
That's a pretty good education.
And it is.
Too.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like we want
stories and true experiences.
If we're going to be giving you our experiences and our stories, it makes sense for you to know a little bit about us. We decided to do yet again the jar of questions.
Yes.
Would you like to remind the people what the jar of questions is in case they're just tuning in?
Okay. So you started off by writing a bunch of questions down the other day, and then I came over at the 11th hour and was like, okay, let me add some in. And I think I had like 2 to your 15 that you had written, but now it's flowing. I'm like, I wrote a bunch of stuff down last night and this morning too. But it's basically for us to be able, so Jamie Lynn wrote some and then I wrote some, and we are pulling them out just on the fly, and we have no idea what we're going to pick out. And then each of us is asking each other the same question. So Jamie Lynn will ask me, and then I'll ask her the same question. Mm-hmm. And it's been interesting to find out. It's like I know a lot of the answers. Like I have an idea of what I think you're going to say already for a lot of these things. But then you pull so many like epic stories just out of your back pocket all the time. Like I have known you for over a decade, and I'm still learning about your time with the rodeo cowboy and like getting married early, and like so, and I brought that up in so many episodes, but I'm like, that obviously is not, it's not like a huge part of your identity, but it's just an interesting tidbit of like
there's been a lot
how
of
you
little
grew up. And
yeah, I feel like sometimes I'm like the epitome of that quote, like I don't know where we're going, but it's not gonna be boring. Because like I don't know where, I have not known the path, but
you've never really like, you never like stopped for too long either. You always are like adventuring and finding new things in life. And I feel like now in this moment in your life, you seem to be in a kind of a settled, like you're really content in this place that you're living in. Like you love the house that you moved into.
Yeah.
And so it's nice to be able to be here with you, because we met in LA,
Gosh, a bit of a recap.
Yeah. We met in LA. Jamie Lynn moved to Nantucket for a while.
6 years.
Came back to LA for 2 years with her now partner, who she met in Nantucket. And now she moved back across the country to Virginia, to my hometown of Charlottesville, Virginia, which is where I'm staying for 5 months, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? 5 months a year, just might as well just move in.
But it's really interesting that it's almost like it's like you came full circle for me. Like in my situation, like, oh, you're back in my hometown. So every time I come back here,
I'll be here.
You'll be here.
Until I go again somewhere.
Until you move somewhere else. But for right now.
Until the stone keeps rolling.
Yeah. But you also said that you wanted to die in this house. So
yeah, and then I felt like I needed to rephrase, or I needed to, because you know what they say, when you manifest stuff, you got to be real specific. And we moved in, and I was like, so it was the first time in, I don't know, 30 moves that I felt like I don't think I want to move again. Like I think I finally hit that like threshold of like, this was really hard. And like, it also was like a really kind of, you know, fire drill of a move that we thought it was going to be a little bit more simple and organized, and it just kind of got to a point where, you know, we're like, sell everything and get there. And so we did. And so we drove across the country, obviously, which I don't actually mind, but we were sick like the last like week or so that could have had something to do with my outlook when we got here. I just was like ready to just plant my roots and be like, I need a minute. And I feel like that was the first time that I felt that way, because usually I move, and I think every time I've moved, if I think about it, like when I moved to LA, I was like, I'm going to try this out for a couple years. And then I was there for 6 years. There seems to be a bit of a pattern. And then I moved to Nantucket and was like, I'm just going to try this out for like a year. Like I want to see what a whole year season, like year round, is like on this island. And then I ended up there for 6 years. And so I think I'll probably be here for at least 6.
Yeah.
If the pattern continues.
Well, I mean, it's interesting that you moved here right before you're going in. You moved here 6 months before you're going into a new decade.
Uh-huh.
And there's such a transformational thing that happens with each decade.
Yeah.
And so you never know. You might end up being like, I feel good. I feel good here. You might create a business that ends up making you feel very expansive and fulfilled.
Yeah.
Or Spotify will give us $60 million.
Come on, Spotify.
Yeah. Yeah. We don't need 60 million. Like it could be 5.
Yeah, it could be
fine.
That's fine. Yeah, we're not like.
But I won't not
greedy.
take 60 million.
We'll figure out a way to make it.
Yeah, we would redistribute a lot of that
for sure.
Yeah, like you know that like the way the billionaires are not doing it.
Yeah,
So.
we have some ideas.
Yeah, I definitely would give a lot of food to the food bank, and you know. Anyway, should we ask a question? Yeah, you go first.
Little
right there
ASMR shake.
Yeah.
You can hear the jar shaking as well as my Papasan chair. Okay.
Is that one of mine?
No, it's one of mine.
Okay.
It's a good one. All right. I wrote down, tell me about a time you were really embarrassed.
Oh, okay.
And even when I was writing this, I felt like it was hard because it's like, I don't know about you, but in the like, I don't think I get embarrassed very easily. I don't think you do either.
No.
And then the times that I feel like I was like that were embarrassing, even in the moment, if I think about it, I'm like, I was like embarrassed, but I laughed a lot about it.
Yeah,
So it wasn't like it didn't feel like it scarred me enough to be like, oh my God, one time.
Did you
But
watch Sabrina the Teenage Witch?
oh yeah.
You remember the episode where she like throws the banana peel on the ground to like do a spell to make her friend not like laugh off slipping on the banana peel?
No.
Okay.
That's funny.
I just had that thought. I'm like,
hilarious.
You've slipped on the banana, the metaphorical banana peel.
I have, yeah.
Yeah, and you just laugh it off. Okay, but anyway, I'm sure somebody knows exactly what episode I'm talking about. And that's also showing the time frame in which you and I were growing up. I have been watching some reruns and they do not stand up in the same way.
The cat, though, I love him so much.
He's so animatronic now.
He is.
Looking animatronic. I never really realized it that much. Okay, a time when I was really embarrassed. Well,
what comes to mind?
It's usually there's a couple of different things. I wasn't that embarrassed, but it was just a ridiculous circumstance. You and I had gone to a brunch or something. No, we went shopping. Do you remember when Mina took all of us to Love Culture?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And then you and our other friend Amy and I went to this wine bar. This is in LA. We went to this wine bar, AOC or something.
Afterwards?
Alexandra Ocasio-Cortez wine bar? No.
I was like, wow, you really pulled that one out.
No, we went to, I think it was called AOC, but I was walking back home and it was like 2 miles or something. And because I'm one of the rare people who walks a lot in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Because I love it. I was living in West Hollywood at the time. I got next to it's the bar where the drag queen brunch.
Were you wearing any of the clothes? Because we went to that store because they did a thing where they like gave us a certain amount of like shoppable credit.
I wasn't wearing any of the clothes. Like, walking, but I am carrying bags.
Yeah,
like from the store. So we had wine, and I'm a very hydrated person.
We had some wine.
Yeah, I had some wine. I had water because I always drink water when I have wine too. And I got next to, oh my God. Okay, we went to this, I'm like not thinking of the name. We went for a drag queen brunch with our friend Annette, and you and I didn't go because you were not living, or you were.
I was not living.
You were.
I was not with the living.
Curtis, I was born with this body. Oh my God. Okay, inside joke. Anyway. But I was walking next to, it was like Santa Monica Boulevard or whatever, right? And so I get to Santa Monica Boulevard. I'm literally 3 blocks from my apartment. And I feel my bladder just feels like it's about to explode. And I just start peeing all down my leg into my sandal. And I'm like, well, this is happening. And it was dark. Like it was dusky. So it's like, even if somebody had walked by, they wouldn't have known that it was happening. I've peed down my leg like there was one time, I told you when I was talking to the guy from the Regiment Horns section, which is Justin Timberlake's horns section. He was telling me some stories, and I was like a huge Justin Timberlake fan at that point. So I'm like, I'm just going to stand here
and listen.
Because they were playing a gig with Curtis or something. I can't remember what.
Yeah.
But I remember I had to go pee, and I guess my ab muscles weren't very strong or something at that point, but it's just like leaking. I'm like leaking. It's going down my leg. And I'm like, I was wearing a dress or something. I'm like, okay, I'm just going to, I'm listening to what you're saying.
Peeing.
But also, also in West Hollywood, this is interesting. It was a friend's birthday. I had just started dating Curtis.
Oh, no.
I was by myself. I was walking. I was like, I had 3 whiskey drinks or something.
Yeah.
And I was just like, do. And I was talking to Curtis on the phone because he was like playing a gig somewhere. And all of the sudden, I don't think I was on the phone with him anymore. But all of a sudden, I'm a few blocks from home and there's like a gurgle going on in my stomach. And it's like you don't come back from that.
No,
like, you know,
especially if you're walking. I feel like
yeah,
sometimes you can get by if it's like you're in the car driving and you're like, okay, I'm gonna breathe through this and like maybe I can get myself there. But like
no,
your options are to walk faster, which is
yeah,
gonna
to
make
run.
it worse, run, which is
Yeah.
gonna make it terrible, or to just shit in the street bridesmaid style.
Yeah.
What door did you choose?
Well, I was wearing pants, so
Oh
look at
God.
that. Yeah. But yeah, I had to walk part of the way home in that state.
With
So
shit-filled pants. That is. But
yeah.
even those, it's like it's embarrassing probably just to yourself, but at least it
Yeah.
wasn't like super public.
No, it was not public at all.
Yeah.
It was not in the moment embarrassing, but it's one of those things where you're like, I don't want to talk to anybody about this, but here I am sharing
Yeah,
on
like
this podcast
live
that will get a
for the
million
world.
listeners at some point. Yeah. But you know what? Let's normalize it because it happens to more people than they will tell.
Yeah,
Like
that's
those people are not going to share it. But you know what? Who the fuck cares?
Who the fuck cares?
Yeah.
'Cause sometimes you shit yourself, okay?
Yeah.
You're only human.
Yeah. And it's like, it's that pivotal moment where you're like, life before I shit myself and then life after I shit myself.
I feel like it is very pivotal.
There's a comma in there.
Also, like, I don't know about you, but I think I'd rather shit myself than like not be able to shit.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's funny because I'm very, very regular. And then some of my family members are not.
Mm-mm.
And I hear about that.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know what I know what that's like based on a few experiences of being constipated. But
Yeah.
that's not a normal thing for me. And when I have been constipated or it's been like I dated this guy. He was Hungarian. He's still Hungarian. But he was very traditional, proper.
Oh yeah.
So even if I like sneezed, he would be like, "Oh, oops. Do you need a tissue? Do you need a tissue?" And it drove me fucking
if he could see you now.
batshit crazy. I know. I hope that he catches some of this because whatever.
He's probably shat himself.
Yeah, but I remember I went to Hungary with him for 10 days and I like it just stayed up in there. Like I could not do anything because I was too worried.
You're too hungry.
That he was gonna like hear it. Yeah, I'm too hungry. I was too worried he was gonna like hear me in the other room or something. And I'm like,
the worst.
I don't want to take that long in the bath. All
I had
of us
a friend
women know this about being like, I don't want to take too long in the bathroom because then he's gonna know.
He's gonna know that I poop.
He's
oh
gonna
my
like
gosh.
poop. Oh my god, I'm not perfect. Yeah.
It's so wild the things we put ourselves through. Like, holding your own bodily
your farts,
like movements and things just to like or not even to maintain as long as possible that somebody has this like prim and proper idea of you. Or
yes. And what is the percentage of like people in relationships or married couples even more so that don't fart in front of each other?
Oh my god,
there's got to be a lot. Did Oliver just fart upstairs?
Maybe that's what that was. I hope that timing would be so good. You reminded me, and I'll get to my embarrassing story as I like ruminate on trying to find like the best one. But
was long.
You reminded me of a friend. I won't name drop her, but I hope she listens to this so that she can laugh with us because I'm pretty sure she thought it was funny after the fact. But she was traveling to a city in which a man that she had been like chatting with and dating, like they'd seen each other a couple times, but they lived far away in different countries. And so he was meeting her in the city in which she was traveling to, and they for the first time were going to probably have the opportunity to share like a hotel room together and spend some intimate time with each other.
Like, do I know this story? I feel like I know this story.
And she is not one of my younger friends. Like she's older than me. And she said, Jamie Lynn, I have a question. I'm worried about if we like spend the night with each other and I wake up in the morning. When I have my coffee, I immediately have to poo. And she's like, I don't know what to do. And I felt like I just love those big sister moments when you get to be like, I got you, girl. Like I did this once with my friend she was wearing Spanx under her dress to a company holiday party. And she was dating one of the guys in our company, which was like a big secret. But she was like, what do I do when I get to his place and I need to take my Spanx off before shit gets intimate?
Real.
And I was like, just the Spanx are disposable. You're going to take them off. You're going to throw them in the trash can in the bathroom, and you're going to come back out without your Spanx on.
Oh my God, they're so expensive though. But yeah,
you know, it's like,
I've
or
thrown away
stash them and grab them, put them in your purse when you leave. But like, go to the bathroom, like take them off. But anyway, back to the original story of my friend meeting this man, sharing a hotel, and she's like, I don't know what to do. Like, I'm going to have to take a shit in the morning, and I don't want, like, we barely spent time together, and I'm like, no, girl, you have to tell him that you prefer either, you have a couple options here. You don't like the hotel coffee, so you're going to go downstairs to the lobby. You're going to get coffees for the both of you, maybe some pastries, and while you're down there, there most always is a public bathroom that is separate from the hotel rooms, like just a general bathroom that you can use. That's your bathroom. Or she works in production. You got to take a phone call. You're going to go downstairs. You got to take a phone call. You have a meeting. You'll be back in 20. You know, it's going to take you a while. So I still have yet to check in with her to see if she ended up having to utilize that advice and how it went for her. But it was just so funny to be like, oh yeah, she hadn't like really thought of this. And the fact that you even have to think of that is really funny. I mean, I think it's nice that people try to maintain a little bit of like mystery in the beginning, but eventually that mystery, you and Curtis poop with the door open.
There's no more magic in a relationship.
At least not in the bathroom.
there's like a couple of rules that we have, but yeah, we have like open door everything policy. And yeah, I think sometimes I'll have like moments where I feel like I'd love to have a little bit more mystery. And I get like, I'll get irritable or something in one moment. And I'll be like, I just need some privacy.
Yeah.
Like,
leave me alone.
Leave me alone. And then Zula pops her head in there. I was like, what, Mom? You know? I'm like, you're fine. Come in. Yeah. No, but I've heard about married couples who don't even brush their teeth in front of each other.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I mean, Oliver and I, sometimes we just forget to brush our teeth before we go to bed, but it's not that we're like specifically not wanting to brush our teeth in front of each other.
Yeah, you forget sometimes. I get it.
Feel like I have like a more embarrassing story than this, but the one that keeps coming to mind. Yeah, do it. Because I was like, I'll buy myself some time. Maybe it'll pop up. Maybe we'll have to do a later episode, or maybe it'll come to me. But so far, the only one that I can think of, and it definitely was embarrassing for like a hot second, and then I literally shook it off and was just like, I have to laugh about this. And I think that that's kind of a common theme because I can be pretty clumsy. So there's a lot of times where like shit will happen, and it's just like eventually you just have to be like, this is just who I am. I'm gonna have to laugh at myself.
Yep.
So I do remember one instance where I was at a track meet. So I ran track and field, which sounds like a cheat to say I ran track and field because I wasn't a runner. I threw discus and shot put. So I was the muscles of the track and field team.
Yeah.
And we were at a meet, and our school colors were black and silver. So the things that we wore over top of our like skimpy little track outfits were just like really light gray sweatsuits. So it was just like a light gray hoodie, like almost white, and light gray sweatpants. And it was a really rainy day, or it had just rained. And we were on kind of the track or the bottom, of the stadium seating. And I had been seeing a boy that didn't go to my school because he was older. He was like a couple years older than me. So he'd like graduated. And we weren't allowed to see each other. My parents forbade it. So
is this who you ended up marrying?
No.
Oh,
This is pre that. This is like my freshman year. I'm pretty sure I was freshman. Yeah, I would have been a freshman. So freshman year of high school, he was like more than that. I was 14. He was 17. So he had like just graduated.
Okay.
So anyway, he rolls up in his like, what did he drive? It wasn't a Ford Probe, but something equally as douchey. He rolls up in his car and like texts me, or maybe didn't even text me. I don't know if I had a phone, but somebody's like, so-and-so's here, Jamie Lynn, like to see you at your track meet. And he was like up on top of this muddy hillside, like way up, so I can like see the parking lot and see him. No. And I'm like, cool guys, like I'm gonna go up there and go get my man, while I have this break. And I go to climb up the hillside.
Oh no.
I get to almost the top. This hillside is probably like, I would say that it's like a 40-yard hill. Like it's like it's pretty, like I've got quite the trek I'm not just like shuffling up a few feet. Like if it wasn't muddy and I was just like walking up it, it would probably still take me like 5 minutes to
Was
get
it
from the bottom to
steep
the top.
too?
It was pretty steep.
What was the grade?
I would say that we're looking at like the same grade as the like stadium seating.
Okay.
So like, you know, when we went to see Foo Fighters,
yes.
you know, when you're like walking down, you've had a couple drinks and you're like, this is kind of sketchy.
Yeah.
Be walking. Yeah.
Yeah,
We're
yeah.
talking like that kind of grade. So
I was
I'm
like, Dave
digging
Grohl's here
in
too?
and I'm like using hands and like I have no game, obviously. So I'm not like trying. There's no like I'm like just shimmying up this hillside. Like I've got my feet in, my hands in, I'm climbing up. Like here I come like a fucking wild animal. And I get to almost the top. And I'm pretty sure the whole time he's looking at me with this confused look, like, what are you doing? And everyone at the bottom is also probably like, what is she doing? And I get almost to the top and my foot slips and I can't get any more traction. But it's like grassy and muddy. So it's not super slick, but it's slick enough to where I just slowly slide all the way back down the hill, have no control, can't grab on. I'm just looking at him as I slowly slide down, which feels like it takes 20 minutes. And I get to the bottom, clunk, and like stand up. And now the front of my almost white sweatsuit is just covered in grass stain and mud. And I'm just like, cool, I'll go around. So then I walk the 20 minutes around or whatever to get up to the parking lot. And I remember he had like a change of like, I don't know, he was in like ROTC or the military at that. He was like getting ready to go into the military. So he had like army sweats or something. And I feel like I ended up putting those on and going back to the track meet and was just like, cool. Like, yeah. So like
God.
Everyone's just like, I think they were so embarrassed for me that nobody even made fun of me.
No
They're
one
just
said
like,
anything?
it was like one of those like, are you okay? You know,
Yeah.
like, are you like, what?
You're like, it's more of an emotional scar.
Yeah. It was like ridiculous. So yeah, I feel like I want to say like I never lived that down, but like no one really made fun of me to my face, but I'm sure behind my back they were just like, what was she
That
thinking?
mud girl.
What is she doing? Like so funny. So yeah, I guess it was a little embarrassing, but I blocked it out. So
This is making me, there was one time where like something malfunctioned in my brain and I started trying to go up the down escalator.
oh yeah,
Like,
that was our favorite cheap LA workout.
Not on purpose. Like I
Yeah.
literally, I got a running start and like
Oh,
tried
wow.
to go, and I was thinking that that's what I was supposed to do.
Yeah.
Anyway, it makes me think. Okay, here we go.
Oh yeah, question number 2.
Next question. Let's see. This is also yours. What is the funniest thing you think I've ever done?
Oh, that's a good one.
All right, so I'm asking you about me.
The funniest thing I think you've ever done. It's actually kind of a hard question because I feel like we like so many of the things that we do together.
Because I'm
really
so funny. I'm so
And
funny.
yours are usually like the ones that really get me that you do are like really subtle. Like they'll be in the middle of like a serious thing and you'll just like say something really like off the cuff that's like that just snaps me out of it and like makes me really laugh. Okay, let me think about this. The funniest thing that I think that you've ever done.
This is hard. This is like,
yeah.
what's your one song?
I know, right? Insert Jeopardy. Do.
I mean, talking about playing Big Phone last night.
I mean, that's the one that's coming to mind, which is really funny. So I guess we just have that. That's a good one to share.
Let's talk about that. We got high last night.
We got stoned and it didn't even originally happen when we were stoned, but we were wrapping up a podcast last week, I think. And there was a box that the microphones came in. We have 2 mics and Kelly's like, I'm going to take this one with me because when she eventually travels back to LA, she, intelligently was like, it'll be smart to put this mic in this box to keep it safe.
It's a very special mic.
And she held it up in a way that looked like she was holding like a giant ass, like that British comedy. What was it called? Like Trigger Happy TV. Did you ever
like
watch?
Zach Morris?
Yeah.
From Saved by the Bell.
He would hold up the phone in the Trigger Happy TV and did this whole skit where it was like a giant fucking Nokia and it would be like and he would be at like a real like symphony or an orchestra that was like in the middle of Paris and he would pick it up and be like, hello, I'm sorry I can't talk right now, I'm at a concert, I'm on my cell phone. And people just be looking at him. So when you did that the other day and held it up, it made me think of that. So we naturally did a big phone skit where I said, you talking to somebody? And Kelly doesn't miss a beat. She got right into it and was like, oh, hey. So we had a little laugh about this. But then last night,
when we were sober, stone cold sober, no weed, sans weed.
The OG laugh was sober. And then last night we played board games with Kelly's parents. And we decided to smoke a little bit of a J. And we went to leave, Oliver and I, and Kelly's husband Curtis is there, her parents, and Oliver and I. And you picked up something, and between Kelly and I, it made sense, and also we were stoned, and I was like real serious, and I was like, oh wait, remember the other day we were playing Big Phone, and the boys just like record screech, like, excuse me, what you were playing Big Phone?
I nodded at you.
She said,
yeah, like, yeah,
Big Phone.
And then you tried to explain it to Oliver
in like such a serious, because in my stony brain I'm like, oh, that doesn't make sense. You will hear. Let me explain what Big Phone is.
It's like when you use a different object as a
It's
phone.
not a phone, and it's usually a little bigger than a normal phone would be. And then you just riff back and forth. And then Kelly takes it a step further in front of her parents and our partners and picks up a banana and is like, like when you do this. And I'm like, yeah, but it's like a little bigger.
Well, and then I got the peanut butter pretzels.
Oh my God.
Like
which actually kind of have a handle like a big phone. It looked like you were like calling in for backup troops.
It's a satellite phone.
I got the sat phone. I'm calling in backup.
Oh my God. Yeah, but I picked it up and I was like, oh, did you say that you wanted to offer her snacks for the ride home? The peanut butter pretzels. Yeah, the Costco size peanut butter pretzels.
People dig those things. I can't get on board.
Oh, so that's why you didn't answer the call.
I didn't answer it. I was like, no, thank you. Please don't call here again. Lose my number. No, I don't know why. Like, I love pretzels and I love peanut butter, but I do not want them combined.
Together? No.
Like fruit and salad.
I'll eat yours.
On board. You'll eat mine. Thank you.
I'll eat yours.
I'll give them your number next time they call.
I feel like
oh my God.
I feel like that counted for
that counts. I mean, there's just too many. I don't know what I was thinking when I wrote that. I really wanted to challenge us, I guess.
Well, do you want to ask the next?
Oh yeah,
should I ask another one, or that was like a duo?
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. I wonder if that's one of mine.
It's yours. Finally, I feel like I don't get.
Oh my God, is this a serious one?
Talk about a time. I don't know.
Already laughing.
I know. Okay. Talk about a time that you had to set up a boundary with a friend or a partner.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
a good one.
We were talking about this the other day. I've been every moment I get a thought now. I'm like, it's a question.
I know. Well, it's a good question because I feel like it's been a big theme lately.
It's really good for us to talk about for other women out there who are people pleasers.
Yeah.
Like you
which
and me.
I think, like, unfortunately, most women,
especially our generation and older.
Yeah. Kind of like just wired that way. And yeah, we talked a little about it before, but like I definitely am wired that way. And yeah, let's see, a boundary I had to set, a friend or a partner. So not like an employer or anything like that. It's a little bit different.
It can be whatever you want. I just was like saying it doesn't have to be just with, like, it could be with a romantic partner or with somebody who you're a platonic friend with. But if it's an employer, whatever it is, like where you came out of it saying, oh my God, that was hard for me, but I feel really good.
Yeah, that we like
that I did that.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you also realize that it wasn't such a big deal, probably.
Yeah. I mean, the thing that comes to mind first, poor Oliver is going to get so much gruff on this podcast, but when we first started like seeing each other, we weren't officially dating. Like we were pretty casual for quite a while, as you know, and it was hard on me. But he was in a circumstance that I didn't really know a lot about. He wasn't like seeing somebody else. He just had a lot of family at home stuff that he was having to focus on, and rightfully so. He felt like he didn't have the bandwidth to give me the type of like attention that he wanted to, or that he thought that I needed. And so that went back and forth for a while. And then it just like kind of ate me up so much that at one point, like kind of the pivotal turning in our relationship, probably like he had moved. I was still, on Nantucket, and I had just like, I don't know. I just had one of those like come to Jesus moments, for a lack of better term, where I was just like, I had a lot of clarity all of a sudden about like, I've never been one of those girls that play. I don't like the games thing. I don't like when women are like,
Mhm.
"Oh, you just need to do this and it'll make them do this," or you just need to like say this even though you don't mean it. Like I'm so transparent, I think, and like to a fault
Yeah.
probably, that it just doesn't, even if I think, yeah, that probably will work, it just feels so ick to me to do something like that. So I had like been up against this like, you know, this like decision of like, I don't know. I feel like for a long time people are like, oh, you just have to like, date somebody else and then that'll like make them, want you. And I was like, I don't want to date anybody else. Like, I don't, like
Right.
I don't want to be with anybody else, but I don't want to be in a situation also where I'm like wondering what this is kind of thing. So I just had clarity and one day and was just like, I really like, I had to really ask myself, if I walk away from this, am I going to be like, I think the thing that makes like Oliver and I so strong is I got to a point where I was like, I genuinely love this person so much that I want them to be happy. And
Mm.
I genuinely mean that. So I feel like a lot of friends or just people that I like observe in relationships, like that isn't the case. They're like, I want to be with you. And if we're not together, I don't want you with anybody else. Like, I don't, it's like a frustrating thing. And this is probably the first time, like, in a relationship where I felt that way. I've definitely like gotten out of relationships and then been happy for people when they like find someone. Like, I've never really been pretty good about never holding like grudges about that and just being like, oh, like it is what it is. That person found their person and like, we all moved on. But this is the first time that we were still kind of like in it. Like, we hadn't said like, oh, we're not going to, uh we hadn't said we're not going to see the other people, but we hadn't said that we were not going to, kind of thing. And I was like, I don't think that's going to work for me. Like, I'm going to carry that really heavily because I just don't know where I stand. And I'm not the type of person that can juggle two relationships, like I
Mhm.
just like never been a casual kind of gal. I'm like all in or I'm single, and that's cool with
Same.
me. So I remember like picking up the phone. I was sitting in my truck and we talked, and I just remember setting that boundary and being really clear, but being very authentic and like feeling like I really genuinely mean this in my heart of hearts and like deep in my soul. And I was like, I want you, like, we need to kind of cut this, because if you're going to go do your thing and like live your life, like I want you to fully do that. Like, I don't want there to be tension, wondering like, are we going to ruin a friendship over the fact that there's going to be weird tension, you wondering if I'm seeing somebody. And I also kind of had to lay it out for him where I was like, if you're going to be in a gray area, then I need to let you go, because I need to go see other people. Like, I need to explore things with other
Yeah.
people and build something with someone, because I'm at a point in my life where I know that's what I want. And I remember getting off that conversation and feeling this like huge relief. One, because I'd set the boundary. One, because I felt so honest about it. Like, I wasn't like telling myself this. I really like, I felt like it like just developed in me, and I was like, I really feel this way. I really feel like if he picked up the phone and said like, no, I have met somebody, I would be like, I'm so happy that you found what you needed. And
Mhm.
am okay with that, because I feel like it's like how people feel about like their children. That sounds weird, but like where you're just like, I just want them to be happy. And I got in that headspace where I was just like, I really, the depth of what I feel about this person is so deep that I really do feel that. So set the boundary. But I remember getting on a phone call with a friend afterwards, and she's very in line with like what had been going on over the course of our kind of casual relationship. And she's like, how did the phone call go? And I told her what I said, and she was like, that must have been so hard, that's so messed up that like you. And I was like, no, like, and it was so funny. I had to like explain. I was like, I actually feel really good about it. Like I feel like relieved, and I feel this like weight has been lifted from my shoulders, that now we have this like clarity around things, that I have stood up for myself and said like, it's kind of all or nothing with me, buddy. Like I don't think that we can, and so it was a hard boundary to set, but I guess at the same time it wasn't, because in the moment it felt so necessary. But I feel like if you would have asked me to set that boundary and say like, those words would have been so hard to say in the beginning of meeting him, because I felt so attached to the outcome. And it was really like this detachment from the outcome, and this like total just surrender to like whatever was supposed to be would be. And that felt so good. So I hope that answered the question.
Yeah. You were just super open and honest. And it was like you were looking out for yourself, but also for him.
Yeah. It was like, I don't want somebody to do something or say something because it's what they think I want. I want both of us to genuinely feel very sure about whatever decision it is that we're making. And if we're not ready to make that decision, then I'm okay with that, because I think that both of us need to come at it from the same angle and with the same like gusto.
Well, and you're also like, now you've been in a relationship for almost 3 years, and like you were also, or 2.5, you were also setting the precedence for having very open, like emotionally open conversations going forward, and basically saying, I'm coming to the table as my whole self, and I'm not gonna play those games or mess around. This is me. I'm just laying it all out there. And so I feel like that that set up your now relationship too.
Yeah. And I remember he could almost come down and speak for himself because he's upstairs. But I remember afterwards, like he called me back immediately. Like I remember I had the call, we like hung up the phone, and then my phone rang again. He was just like he felt so much better. Like he was just like, I feel so like, I don't remember how he worded it, but I feel like we had a conversation at some point after where he's like, I feel more connected to you now. Like I feel more like we understand each other, and not in a way where he's like, cool, I want to go do my thing, because ironically that was the conversation in which he decided, I don't want us to go do our own thing, I want us to be together, like I want. And so it was funny, it was like that was the beginning of us like really kind of making more of a commitment to each other. Eventually we still kind of like went our own ways, but it was from that was a turning point to where I felt like he then started, calling more and like, reaching out more. And because I think part of him like had to get to that point to really wrap his head around like, what would that loss be like? And I kind of I had done that prior to the conversation. And, obviously my hope was for the outcome where we would be together in the end, but I had to let it all go and genuinely be okay with either outcome for, I think, the universe to make it a whole thing and like bring it together, which was a pretty cool feeling.
Yeah. And you probably felt a lot of trust for you after that too, because he knew you weren't putting any pressure on him to make a decision. Like we hear about those, we see it in movies, and we hear about the conversations between a man and woman partnership, and the woman's like, you better pick me. Or like,
I think he kept waiting for that shoe to drop. Like he kept waiting for like the crazy JL to come out. And I was like, dude, it's not like, I mean, don't get me wrong, I've had my moments where we've had like tears, with each other, where I've like cried and been like, oh, like, and he's like, I'm so sorry.
Well, that's just a relationship.
But that's like a relationship. But there's never been that moment where I've tried to like be like conniving or mischievous and been like, you fucker, like it just like, it's not in my wheelhouse. Like I mean, if somebody tries to like, steal my dog, like the crazy's coming out. But like I'm not gonna like, I think I learned pretty early on in like trial and error of relationships, and I hope that like this falls on the ears of a younger girl who is experiencing it. One of the worst feelings is not trusting your partner or being in a relationship where you feel like that you're not really like wanted, or you're having to like constantly work to like keep that person's, admiration or something. And like, it is just the pits, like that feeling in your stomach of like, not, like your partner leaving and you not being like, oh, are they gonna, cheat on me, or like,
Mhm.
or, and it's all, a lot of it, unfortunately, is pretty like, it's pretty warranted from relationships that you go through where that shit does happen, and then
Yeah.
you don't expect it, and like young love, like the first time you're cheated on, you're just like, what?
Yeah,
like, and
you
it's
lose
so,
your innocence.
yeah, you lose your innocence. It's so scarring to your trust and to who you are. And so I think that so many women carry that into other relationships, and it's sometimes there's nothing you can do about it. Like you can't like rewire that alone. You kind of have to go through a partnership where somebody doesn't treat you that way in order for it to be rewired. And I think that that's another thing that's important is, I don't know, I think that a lot of people are like, you got to fix this about yourself before you go into the next relationship. It is true to an extent, but I think sometimes it's like, it's a good relationship that fixes you from, or that heals you from those other things that you went through. So yeah, I just feel like I just I don't subscribe to that anymore. It's like you pick up these little pieces with every relationship where you're like, I didn't know that was really important to me, but I really love how that sits with me. And I think I want to find that in somebody else, and vice versa. But yeah, what's your answer?
It's interesting.
This podcast is called Tangents.
Yeah. It's interesting that you brought that up though, because my mom's older sister is a therapist and her husband is also a therapist, or he's a psychologist. But she has talked about how she believes that there's different personality types where someone learns a lot about themselves when they're single, and then there are people who learn a lot about themselves from their relationships.
Mm-hmm.
So the guy who I dated before Curtis, we were together for about a year.
I think this is the grill people. Sorry to interrupt your shit.
Hey, this is Nick with Tractor Supply. I was just giving you a call to let you know I'm leaving the store now, heading your way.
Sweet.
Cool. Thanks, Nick. Thanks for interrupting, Nick.
Thanks, Nick from Tractor Supply.
Thanks for interrupting.
Not sponsored by Tractor Supply, but could be.
My long train of thought got
so
derailed.
Sorry. I know, you're right in the middle, right when we start hitting the serious shit too.
This is part of life though, really. There's always going to be interruptions. There's always going to be distractions.
You never have time to have a full train of thought.
I just remember hearing that. I did a yoga teacher training over a decade ago, and I remember we did a meditation class one of the times, and that was one of the biggest takeaways, was like the meditation teacher was like, yeah, there's always going to be distractions. You have to just like, you embrace them and you let them go. Anyway,
it is. That's why everybody should meditate, because it really
letting it go. So I got that feeling in my gut instinct, like in my gut, that the day that this dude broke up with me, I knew something was going on. I had the anxious attachment thing going on for sure. I was always feeling the way that you were talking about, where he would go out of town. I'd be like, is he going to do something? Because the way that our relationship started was that it was like casual for a long time. I wasn't casual, but I was trying to play it cool. I was doing the game thing. So we ended up moving in with each other, and he, like, classic narcissist kind of actions, like always setting the bar higher. I only hang out with perfect people. Like the messaging was very like icky. Now looking back at it, I'm like, textbook narcissist. Like all the bullet points were there. But I just remember the day I was getting to a point where I was fucking fed up, right? And I felt that it was kind of coming to an end because he didn't understand that part of going through a relationship is also the hardships. It's not just the honeymoon period. But he also has this idea of a perfect person in his mind that doesn't exist. And no one's ever going to live up to that. And I am almost sure he's still single. And he's like 41 at this point, right? So,
Checks out.
and he probably will be. But he's like, I get home. I'm working at the NFL Network at this point as a photo editor. I get home and he's sitting on the sofa, like on the other side of the sofa, and he like pats the sofa for me to come. Yeah, he's like, come sit with me. And he starts tear. He's like, he's telling me, I don't know how to say that. Like, I don't think this is gonna. He starts tearing up, and I was like, stop crying. I was like, I can tell that this is fucking fake.
Yeah.
Like, stop doing it. And I immediately went into logistics mode.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, cool. So are you moving out or am I staying here? It would be easier for me to stay here and you go get a new place because you're making more money than me right now. And it's going to be easier for you to go and get something else.
Yeah.
I was like, and I'm just going to stay here, get a roommate and then find. So I immediately went into that mode.
Boom, boom, boom.
And part of the reason why I ended up setting up whatever boundary it was that I set up was because I was fucking done.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm at my wit's end. And it was after that relationship, and I've told you about this, but it was after that relationship that I wrote down the list of what I wanted to manifest in a partner. And then I had met Curtis like years prior, like a couple years before that. And we met each other through mutual friends and we'd seen each other off and on at parties and stuff. But it was like 3 weeks later, speaking of someone who's in a perma relationship, 3 weeks later.
But I remember correctly, you decided not to be.
I didn't want to be.
Yeah.
I remember.
And then it was the fact that the way he accepted that so gracefully.
He did the same.
You were like, oh.
Yeah, he did the same.
Now I do.
He did almost the exact same thing that you did with Oliver, where he was like, hey, I understand that you just got out of a relationship. He's like, I like you a lot. And I think that you're wonderful. And basically, if you need to go and date other people for a while and like figure your shit out, then that's fine. I'll just be right here waiting for you when you're ready.
I'll be right.
Yeah. And I was like,
you're like, whatever it
I
takes.
called him the next day or something. I don't know. It's like the exact same thing. Like, I'm ready.
I'm ready. So I thought about it for 12 hours.
Yeah, I thought about it.
On
I'm ready. He's the first person who I feel like was actually kind of more pursuing me instead of me kind of like chasing
Well, he wasn't
someone.
giving you this ultimatum that so many people do where it's like, you know, that's the thing about those games where I get it. Like, I'm all about like, you know, women empowerment, obviously, and like being like, listen, this is, you know, you come get this or it's gone, like kind of thing. Like, but that's like never the vibe I feel like that is going to get you the end result.
Not a
that
long
you
term.
want. And yeah, it's going to be a short burn.
Yeah.
I feel like it's interesting when you talk about that, like the last relationship and how when he patted on the couch like you're a fucking dog.
He's just
come
like,
here,
come. Well, he had
or
like,
like your parents, you know, like
I look on his. Yeah,
I just remember so many times like coming home and like my, you know, mom who had every right to do that because she was my parent.
Yeah,
like being like, hey, we need to talk, you know, like come sit down, like so we can have a talk. I'm like, I can't even. Yeah, the thing with your partner, it just feels so weird, but. The thing that stuck. Yeah, that's a word. Stuck out to me. It's because I just talked to Tractor Supply.
yeah.
The thing that really stuck out to me is the fact that you felt that something was wrong leading up to that, and when he, you know, put it on the table and he took the action to be like, hey, you were already ready and in that headspace, and I think so many women could relate to that because there's something about us sometimes that won't take that leap to cut things and to end it off and take that it feels like a risk. And I still am curious for you specifically what you felt like that was, because I know it's, you know, a lot of times it's financial or, you know, like there's other things that keep people in relationships, but I don't think that that's what it was for you. I feel like you could have easily like been on your own. You already knew I can get a roommate. Like this is like a non-issue, at least logistically. But what was it, I wonder, emotionally for you that kept you from being like, dude, this doesn't feel good? Like,
yeah. the sunk cost fallacy for sure. I'd
Yeah.
already invested a lot of time in this.
Yeah.
So I didn't want
That's a real.
to let it go.
Yeah.
And I'm such a committed person.
Yeah, you
I
are.
should be committed. No, I'm such a committed. This is a cry for help. No. Put me in a padded room. No, I am such a committed person that I've done a lot of research on relationship phases, and this is something that I've been really interested in because I like to understand the inner workings of human interaction, and also just kind of setting myself up for success to know what to expect. And of course, it's going to be different from relationship to relationship.
Yeah.
And there's so many other factors that come into play based on personality and environmental, whatever's going on in this circumstance. But I was like, I know after a honeymoon period comes like a reevaluation stage. And then I know that you go through power struggle, and that can last for years. That can last for decades.
Yeah.
You can never come out of that. And hopefully if you do, you're very lucky. But
Yeah.
because people can come in and out of phases too. But I was aware of what to expect as far as like the clinical diagnosis of what a relationship was going to look like.
Yeah.
Phase wise. And so I was like, okay, well, now we're moving into this like reevaluation phase. Like we moved out of the honeymoon period. And so I was trying to explain, like, this is part of being in a relation. Like you go through phases where it's not going to be as like, it's not going to be rainbows and unicorns.
Yeah. There's going to be times.
Yeah. And I knew that was part of what commitment looked like. But I think the biggest takeaway from all of this, and I think that other people would also understand this, and if they haven't really gotten to a point where they understand it yet, then hopefully this will be helpful. Because I've kind of come out on the other side of it, and I'm with somebody who is also equally as committed as I am. You don't want to keep yourself in a relationship where you have those gut instincts and where you have the anxiety.
It's got to be so bad for you, physically, mentally, emotionally, like all. I don't
know until it's over.
Yeah, and I don't wish that on my worst enemy. Like I can't even like believe sometimes that, you know, I went through any sort of chapters where that was like a normal thing or normal occurrence. And I think that maybe our bodies trick us to think that it's like adrenaline and it's excitement or something.
Well, movies tell us it's supposed to be like all fun and exciting.
And it's not. It's like it's got to wreck your nervous system. It wrecks your self of like your sense of self and your self-esteem, your self-worth. And it wrecks the other person too, to have somebody, you know, like, cause who knows the situation. If they are, you know, doing something, then it's like that relationship needs to end. Like if they aren't, then you've got this person who's like, I always feel like I'm being, you know, looked at, you know, with under a microscope, and that I can't do anything without it being something suspicious. And that's its own set of, you know, struggles for a partner to understand how to like handle that and be gentle and understand that, you know, most of the time it's coming from whatever previous experiences somebody's had. And
but you want somebody who's gonna go through that with you, go through it with you. It's like, you know, it's a long-term commitment. There's no period in there. It's like it keeps going. It's linear. It's growing always. So you have to find somebody who's emotionally mature and available and all of those things.
Exciting news here in the Naked Room. Our anonymous hotline is now live. You can call in and leave an anonymous voicemail with anything from confessions to things you loved about the podcast, things you hate about the podcast. Eventually, this will be a line where we will leave you a prompt at the end of each episode that you can then call in and discuss with us, and it may be featured on one of our future episodes. But for now, let it rip. Whatever you've got to say, we want to listen. That phone number is 213-537-9791. See you there.
The Naked Room podcast is brought to you by hot coffee, cold showers, grit and determination, the power of being a woman.
We'd like to thank ourselves. This is a self-run operation. We have done all of this on our own, other than with the help of our hot sound guy, my husband, Curtis Keeper, who curated all of our equipment and got us up and running.
If you'd like to sponsor us, reach out.